So if you look at what's happened in the world, the finances of the world have been funneled and concentrated into fewer and fewer and fewer hands, where you have like basically a handful of multi billionaires that own basically half the wealth of the world in terms of what other people have. And when you concentrate finance money to that extent, you're concentrating choice and you're denying it to those that don't have it. But where this is going, or plan to go, unless we wake up fast, is that we're going to go beyond that. They want to go to a point where that they own and control the entirety of global finance. I would mention from what I said earlier, what I remember, by the way, that the central banks of the world are working to a unified agenda. And it's unified through the Bank for International Settlements in Basel, Switzerland, which is a private organization where the central bank heads meet and decide or get told what's going to be the common agenda of those central banks. And of course, the central banks like the Federal Reserve, Bank of England, etc., have enormous impacts on national economies. So, and this is how, by the way, this digital currency agenda, the programmable digital currency, through the central banks, is being coordinated through the Bank for International Settlements, through all the others. So it's like, isn't it funny? All these central banks are deciding the same thing at the same time, and they're all from different countries. Yeah, it's coordinated, mate. It's coordinated. So you're looking at a scenario, and there are three elements to it: the concentration of money, AI, and a guaranteed income for the population. And how it works is, first of all, they are going to crash the economy. This is part of the game. They're going to crash the economy on a level that you'll hear on Mars, and will make 2007, 2008 seem like, Mary Poppins at a tea party. Because they want to crash the system as it is now so they can introduce their new system, which will be based on programmable digital money. And we're seeing all the stepping stones being brought in towards that now. Will destroy the job prospects of enormous numbers of people, because lots of companies are out of business. Because the idea is you centralize, and you hoover up until there's just that handful of global corporations that run everything. See Amazon. And the AI part of it is one, AI, I've been predicting this and saying this for so bloody long, decades now, is going to take over from humans in terms of work opportunities. It's going to take them all. We're now in the situation, irony of ironies, where more and more news stories are being written by AI. So journalists are losing their jobs. You know, the journalists that kept their mouths shut, their heads down, and their minds ignorant, to allow all this to go on unreported. So AI is taking, and we've seen nothing yet, enormous amounts of jobs from people. So what the idea then is to say, okay, we've got to do something for people. We've got to give them an income. They've got no income. And I'll come to that in a second. But the second part of AI is to run the system. We're seeing AI more and more and more running human life. The idea is that it takes over completely. So the whole system will be run by artificial intelligence, which means you need very, very few people to control it, just a few at the center that control AI, and you're running the entire system with a tiny few people. So as I was saying earlier, so you have this problem suddenly of all these people that have no income. And the idea is that you give them a guaranteed income. And they're starting to trial these in different places now. And people say, oh, well, that's all right. Then we'll get a guaranteed income. That's good. Yeah. That's not what it's about. First of all, it'll be a pittance. And secondly, you'll only get it if you're a good boy and girl. If you challenge the system, or you're a dissident to the system, or you have the wrong opinion on bloody Twitter, then you won't get it. That's the idea. It's all about control. And then you say, well, I don't want it. I don't want your bloody guaranteed income. And then they say, well, this is the control system that's being built all around us while people can't see it. And so people that think that they're doing all right, just like people who thought they were doing all right a few years ago, and now are not, seriously not. The progression of this is that more and more people are planned to be pulled in. People that think they're doing all right and you know, they've got decent income and a nice house, they're going to be pulled into this as well as it gets more and more extreme. And there's another aspect of this, and that is that they want to control, and we'll bring BlackRock back into this, they want ownership of all the property. It's like Klaus Schwab has said at the World Economic Forum, this Bond villain guy who should be in jail, that you will own nothing but be happy. Well, the second part's not true, unless they drug you. But the first part is what they want, absolutely. And what you're seeing, and people can check this out, is happening, is people like BlackRock and these major trillion-dollar corporations and many, many banks are buying up property sight unseen, and they're then turning them into rentals. In America, they bought whole neighborhoods up in one go because they want people not to own anything. And the other thing about money is this guaranteed income is planned to have an expiry date. So when you get it, you've got to spend it. Because what they don't want is people having funds and savings which give you a bit of freedom, give you a bit of choice. They don't want that. They want no one having any savings, and therefore no choice. And they will. They're planning to make sure that you don't have savings. So we're looking. If you look around now, you're seeing it. I explained earlier with these handful of billionaires that own so much, but they want to reach a situation where there's clearly two very distinct worlds: the world of the cult oligarchs that own everything and control everything, including all the resources, and the rest of the population getting round on a pittance.